Hey folks, for once in my life, I am actually doing what someone in my audience wants, and Multi-Paper Games has requested a video about PCG consoles. What are PCG consoles? Who's making them? Why? What is the deal with this? Well, today we are going to get into it, but we are not going to edit this video. And that's not because they don't have time. It's just not going to happen, all right? This is a non-edited video. So if you want editing, get out of here. So yeah, with that being said, let's look into some PCG consoles. All right, folks. Thank you once again for joining us here on the Paper Computer Games, the unedited Paper Computer Games channel. And today we are going to be looking at PCG consoles. So here we are on the PCG Wiki. This is our wiki article on PCG consoles. The PCG Float is probably the most iconic PCG console. We're going to get into that. But this is basically the wiki article that sums up everything. Now, PCG consoles are an adaptation of IPGS, IPGS. You'll see, yeah, you can see right there. It's his most iconic thing. This is the paper game system, the original thing. Paper games were played on consoles. This is a concept that comes from IPGS, that comes from paper games, that you would play these paper games on these consoles. Our PCGs, however, are a separate tradition. We did not grow out of this paper games thing. We are our own thing. That sort of predates paper games. But see, here's the thing. Our paper games did not have consoles. They never did. That was never a PCG thing. It's only after we encountered the paper games community, and a lot of people who are former paper game or current paper game makers brought traditions from the paper games universe into PCGs, that the idea of a PCG console was born. So this is something from the paper games franchise, so that has sort of been mixed in to the PCG franchise as well. I think basically these two franchises are largely sort of intertwining, sort of merging into each other bit by bit. But regardless, the first idea of a PCG console, the first time the concept of a paper console was adapted for PCGs, was by the Sonic activist, who is now known as Golden Onion. Now on this classic video, the Sonic activist created the PCG Dreamcast, which is pretty cool. You can see here, he made a whole thing for it. He's got like a whole operating system for the PCG Dreamcast. And this is all very paper game like. Like, he calls it the PCG Dreamcast, and so he's sort of, giving it that title, he's sort of tying it into PCGs. But it is very paper gamey. However, there is, it has games in it like Fortnite PCG Edition, Sonic Generation PCG. So I guess a PCG console, first of all, is a console that you play a paper computer game on. Now, once again, paper computer games don't need a console to play. They never have. But, this is a new idea where we're like, I guess there's no reason why you can't. This console also did a lot more. It introduced, basically, it has a lot of accessories right now. And hey, look, that's Tutorial Bot. So this is kind of starting the tradition, which we're going to see with lots of future PCG consoles, of Tutorial Bot sort of as the mascot of PCG consoles. And you're going to see what I mean as we go on. Yeah, I think you have to create your own character for this. But regardless, this became a lot more, formalized when he created the PCG Float. So here is the actual trailer for the PCG Float. I think I might have to actually unmute for this one, because this is cool. PCG Float. First time in PCG community. So this is, yeah, look how cool that is. And once again, Tutorial Bot, that is where it gets cemented as having like the icon on the PCG console. But once again, the PCG float, it is available on the PCG shop. You can actually print it out. So I have printed it out. I made it. I have a PCG float here somewhere. I would go get it, but you know, I made a very firm commitment to not edit this video at all. So yeah, I'm not going to do that because that could take time and that would force me to edit. So yeah. So yeah, super cool stuff. But basically with this, you can do all sorts of things. There's like, you can put the games like in it. You can play the games like here. You have the Zelda game that you can play with buttons, but it's also a PCG because this is the PCG float. So yeah, handhelds go way back. There have, just as there are real consoles that are handhelds, there's always been paper handhelds as well. But the PCG float is once again bringing that into paper computer games, the first PCG console. And because the PCG float, it was so iconic, people kept making their own versions of the PCG float. Like people making their, just like how there's Game Boy and then Game Boy Color and Game Boy Pocket and Game Boy Advance and so on and so forth. We've also gotten lots of different editions of the PCG float. This is my earlier video, Legacy of the PCG float. It sort of, gives an overview and a history of the PCG float, as well as showing some of the versions of the PCG float, what you can do on PCG float. There's all these float tunes that are like songs he made to go with the PCG float. But yeah, this video that you're watching right now is not a remake of Legacy of the PCG float, because this is just focused on the float and its sequels, whereas this video is about all PCG consoles. But certainly the float is the most iconic one, so that's why there have been lots and lots of different takes on it. Here we were introducing the Float Z, which is a new float that was being introduced when the Sonic Activist was coming back to the PCG community. Really cool. Once again, we've got Tutorial Bot over here. This is after a while though. We've also gotten these other consoles as well. Angry KP, who is now known as Kratos the God Killer, I guess. Angry KP had the brilliant idea to make the PCG keyboard. So this is actually a PCG computer for the first time. You've got keys. Once again, we've got the traditional Tutorial Bot in the center as the logo. That's traditional now for a PCG console, I guess. So even though like PCG consoles started as like just bringing paper consoles into paper computer games, it's now sort of already turned into its own tradition, its own like version of that tradition that has its own traditions, like having Tutorial Bot in here, which I think is really cool. But yeah, like I just think this is brilliant because, like, dude, it's a paper computer. Like, you're actually playing a paper computer game on a paper computer. It kind of makes a lot of sense, right? Because, like, I don't know, you play paper video games on a paper console, right? So, like, that's IPGS and stuff. But it makes sense to play a paper computer game on a paper computer, right? Right? Doesn't that make sense? Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. I'm probably just crazy. I don't know. I'm probably just making this all up. But regardless, this was another early PCG console, or equivalent of console, I guess, because it's a computer. He also has a mouse to go with it, I believe. Yeah, you can see it here. Yeah. Super cool. So yeah, he also made another PCG console. This one here is called the PCG Hand. I think this is sort of like a Wiimote almost, but like, yeah, but you put it in your hand, so it's the PCG Hand. Yeah, that's really cool. We've got other PCG consoles made by various people. This one's by JCC Paper Games. This is, let's see, I forget what this one was even called. Yeah, I don't remember. I really would edit this part out because at this point would go back and like actually watch the video and find out what it's called and then like say that. But no, very firmly committed to not editing this video. This is an oath, a blood oath I took. So yeah, I could edit the video, but then I'd have to I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to do something drastic. Regardless, PCG Consoles continued from here. Here's one made by Ojas Janghal, PCG DS 2.0. Yeah, that looks really cool. Nice watch, by the way. That's pretty intense. But yeah, PCG DS 2.0, so sort of like a PCG version of the Nintendo DS, I suppose. That seems like a really cool one. This is 2 years ago, by the way. This is 3 years ago. This is in August of 2020. So yeah, a lot of these consoles were made back in 2020. It is still a thing today, but not as much. I feel like most PCG makers don't really make PCG consoles. Here's a cool one by Compact Dev. He never made a video of it, I don't think, but I made a video where I assemble it because it is available online. I think on the PCG shop, and yeah, it has some games for it, which is really cool. Yeah, check that out. Whoa, look at that time lapse. Okay, so we've got our little manual here. Yeah, little manual. Yeah, so this is a terrible video. I don't know why I'm making this. I apologize to all of you. I should just stop here, but no, firmly committed to staying the course. I'm doing this without editing. This is gonna happen. Watch. I say all this, and then at the very last second, I'm gonna get like compelled to edit, and like edit out all the times when I said I'm not gonna edit, and you all are just never gonna know this is gonna happen. But no, must stay the course. Must stay strong. Yeah. So different people have made different PCG consoles. This one, I think you like the PCG float. You can put stuff into it. A lot of these look really cool. Here's one called the PCG Card by the Sonic Activist. He's always been, a leader in the PCG consoles field. So yeah, the PCG Card is, pretty PCG-ish. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say, but even recently he's been coming back with more PCG consoles. Like, ooh, look at that galaxy. Yeah, the PCG Cosmo. The future of PCGs. So yeah, the PCG Cosmo, I do believe, is also available on the PCG shop. Here is the actual PCG Cosmo. I should mention, this is not actually a screenshot from the PCG Cosmo. It does not look like that. Just in case there's any confusion, I felt I had to clear that up. You cannot literally play Zelda Twilight Princess on the PCG Cosmo. But yeah. Yeah, let's see the games. So it has Zelda games. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically, people have been making their own PCG consoles. There's not a whole lot more to say about it than that. You can play PCG games on PCG consoles. Sometimes people have fun, just like in the original PCG Dreamcast, making sort of like, this sort of file navigation system where you can click profile or links to YouTube or the PCG Creator Lab. Sometimes you have to create your own robot, your own little profile character. And yeah, I mean, like, it's mostly just for the fun, for the fantasy of it. It's a weird thing, because like to me, as sort of like the original PCG player, the idea of it seems pretty alien, but I think it's a really cool idea to import like this concept of the paper console from paper games into PCGs and like see what you can do with it. I have always been meaning to make my own PCG console. I have never actually done it. I have made a couple of paper games. Like, you can check out my video on Zuvak, the paper game, and I sort of half did it because I made a controller, which, oh god, it's so bad. I'm not even going to show it to you today. But yeah, someday I have to make a proper PCG console. However, that day is not today. I felt the need to slam the table to tell you guys that. But I will tell you that if you want to get some of these PCG consoles for yourself and mess around with them, a lot of them are actually available on the PCG shop. So to go to the PCG shop, like, here's the trick, right? I'm gonna let you in on the secret tip, you know, the secret trick, like the hack that'll let you access the PCG shop. That hack is basically you type in papercomputergames.com and it takes you here, and then you just click shop. Yeah, super secret hack, you guys. I've just blown all your minds. But yeah, here we are in the PCG shop, and as of this video, I am announcing right here, right now, today. Hold on, we need a proper view for this. Right here, right now. Do you guys hear me? We are announcing a new addition to the PCG shop. Now here on the front page of the PCG shop, there is actually a section for PCG consoles. I have added this section. Oh, I just realized I am not showing my screen, but that's okay. I am very committed to not editing. I will just show the screen now. Okay, I apologize. Oh God, I went through the whole shop without editing. I'm gonna do this. How am I gonna do this? Oh God, I'm gonna have to edit this, aren't I? No. I'll just do it again. We'll go through this again. Okay. I apologize, but yeah, that's what's happening. We're gonna close this tab. We're gonna open a new tab. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to papercomputergames.com. That's the super secret hack. Then you click shop. Now here we are on the PCG website. Why am I doing this to myself? I know the reason. It's because if I had to edit, that would be a lot more time. You know, this is the trade-off, right? You want this video, you want cool videos about, well, I mean, I guess cool videos is, kind of taking it too far. Maybe I shouldn't call it cool videos. Do you want videos about PCG consoles? This is the price of it, You want PCG console videos? This is what happens. Well, okay. Otherwise, it would take me like weeks to finish this, and I wouldn't be able to work on other videos. But yeah, this way, I can finish it in like half an hour, and we're done. And then I can work on other PCG videos. So yeah. Here we are in the PCG shop, and you can see lots of new PCGs by people. Lots of new, well, like here are all the PCG sagas, like there's the Gnome Saga, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, anyway, here's the paper game section, and right below that, we have PCG consoles. So we have now added the PCG console section into the PCG shop. I added it in literally right before I started filming this video. So this is like hot off the press, is brand spanking new. I dare you, I double dog dare you, if anyone was aware of this before you saw this video, put it down in the comments. I challenge you. I don't think a single one of you saw this up here like before you saw this video. I double dog dare you to tell me you've seen that, because I don't think you did. But regardless, so yeah, if you by the way, yeah, also let me know in the comments if I'm being kind of like too hyper in this video. I don't know what's going on with me. I think the lack of editing, it's weird. It's weird. I thought this was gonna be easier than it was. I don't know how to be. I don't know what to say. I don't know who I am. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. So PCG consoles. You can click view all, and then you have all of these. I said, like, anyone who has set their product type to PCG console, you can do that when you're uploading something to the PCG shop. It will automatically go into this category, and it will show up here on the front page of the PCG shop. That's how the PCG shop works in general. But yeah, it'll show up like to the left of this one. This shows the top 5 most recently released PCG consoles. We have 3 of them by the Sonic Activist. We have PCG Float Smash, which is like an alternate, like a new version of the PCG Float. This one is by Swift Kick Studios. We have one by PXG Gamer. That's basically JPGSI, aka Krillin, which is cool. It looks like the PlayStation, but different version. So yeah, PCG consoles, you guys. If you want to see them, we have the wiki article. You can update the wiki article and include all the PCG consoles that I have left out of this article. There's like lots more to add. You can download some of them from here from the PCG shop, which you can find at papercomputergames.com. You can look at any of these excellent videos. about by the Sonic activist, by Angry KP, who's now known as Kratos the God Killer, by me, by Ojas Janghal, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I mean, I think that's basically a pretty good overview of PCG consoles. I mean, that's the basic idea. You have a paper controller, you have stuff like that, and yeah, let's just end this thing. Thank you guys so much for watching. You folks are the best as always, and PCG you later.